Well, hello racing fans, welcome to our Gallop TV preview show for this Saturday, the 7th of June, one of the highlights during the KZN Champion season on the South African racing calendar, and it's a big day for Hollywoodbets. It's the Hollywoodbets Gold Challenge, and I trust that you, the valued racing fan, as well. Just having a look at the form guide that I am using, a beautiful pick of last season's Equus Champion Horse of the Year, Dave the King, who's here to defend his title. I will be previewing the show with Rahil Radhakrishna, but the guys have been busy throughout the week, reruns and interviews, so let's get into our package for race one.
He's quite a nice horse. This is Montien's younger brother, and he's a horse that I think has got a lot of potential, but I predict he's going to be very green. I'm most likely going to jump slow and be very green. He's a horse that's going to just need a little bit of time, so hoping for a good run. In my mind, he's definitely going to be green.
She had one run, she was very green in her first run, so we're looking for improvement, and hopefully she can give us on the day.
So it's a busy afternoon, and we have to remind you that races 7 through to 10 is a whirlpool race meeting, Hong Kong Jockey Club whirlpools. But as you get to those races, we'll remind you of that. Race number 1 begins at 13:05. It's over 1,600 meters as we welcome and greet Rahil. Brilliant card that the operators put on along with those feature races.
Yeah, these can't wait for the action to begin on Saturdays. Of course, twilight meeting with the late start at 1:05, and then race number 10 set to get underway at 7:05. Looking forward to the action. It's obviously going to be a big indicator for horses heading towards Africa's greatest horse racing event on the 5th of July. We've of course got the Hollywoodbets Dolphins Cup trial, and I'm sure we'll get a good indicator as to who the likely winner could be, because in the last 2 years it's been the race that you want to win, because the Hollywoodbets July winner has come from there. So all eyes, I say, will be on the Cup trial. The Gold Challenge is no doubt the headliner, though.
Yeah, I think it's for most of these runners that want to qualify, it's possibly your last chance, along with maybe the Track and Ball Derby and the Track and Ball Oaks that comes up. So race number 1, we bring up the field, have a look at the betting and horses in single figures. Number 2 is Matcha Mint at 11 to 10. Number 3, Blizzard Quest at 15 to 10, and that is it. It is double figures, the balance. I think the market has got the spot on here, Rahil. These colors we saw to the far at Hollywoodbets Scottsville last week, Paul Matchett and Henny Pretorius, and I think it could be the same here at Hollywoodbets Greyville, because the one thing that is a fact is that the filly was tried over ground last time out. She saw at the distance nicely, engaging the services of Richard Fourie. Blizzard Quest was gelded on the 25th of March, so this will be his first run as a gelding. I looked up the pedigree just as an indicator for the horse going over ground. The dam was a 9-time winning sprinter. Yeah, the sibling sprinter, the most recent is Blizzard Snow. And then the one horse that comes out that jumped off the pedigree was the Mauritian, who gets 1,600 meters. So, one has to respect Sean Terry the way he's placed this horse, but it just looks like these two horses should dominate, because nothing really grabs my attention of the balance, although I can make some case for number 4, Lunar Descent, but then one has to have a look at what Tristan Godden has chosen, and he's chosen number 1.
Yeah, Deez, I think it looks to be it's going to be a straight two-horse shootout here with numbers 2 and 3. I think box exactas to get your day started. If I had to have preference for one, it would be number 2, Matchament. Just the fact that she gets 3 kgs and she has been over the distance. Last time outbeaten by a first-timer, Little Miss Million, who was a surprise win on the day, winning in double-figure odds. But I think that this filly will be a lot wiser now, going over the distance once again. And Paul Matchett's absolutely flying with his juvenile, so he'll have this filly ready to rock and roll. And of both horses, I mean, Matchament should be more comfortable over the distance. You touched on the pedigree of number 3, Blizzard Quest. Slight concern for me, but I think that this filly should be right there in the firing line. At least this gelding should be in the firing line. So 2 and 3, I think a good way to start the day with some exactas here.
So let's go with confidence, racing fans, with number 2, Matchament, receiving a 6 allowance. The fact that she goes 1,600 meters, the stable's in good form, so is the colors, and of course, we don't need to say anything more about the jockey who's been engaged. So race number 1, confident selection from the studio. Number 2, Matchament.
Race number 2 next up. The second race will be the start of the bipod. It is a class 3, 1600 meters the distance, 1340 the off time, and we've got a couple of interviews lined up in race 2.
Run for Cover needed his last run here, and on that day, all the horses that were drawn wide didn't perform well. So he's got a nice draw, working very well at home, and I think he's a horse that's probably got to go into all your bets. I'm quite happy with him at the moment. I think he's got a chance.
Yeah, Rich Folks Hoax, I was disappointed in his last performance, but now I've put him back over 1600 meters, and I'm going to put a pair of blinkers on him, quarter cup blinkers. Maybe I'll just make him focus a bit better, but you can never leave him out. He looks exceptionally well and he's doing well.
Yeah, disappointed in last run from number 7, Rich Folks Hoax, but I think that he can make up in this contest. He is the second pick in the market at 33-10. Number 5, +4 is your favorite. 7-2 into 3-1. Number 1, Turconnell at 5-1. 6-1, number 3, Master Christmas. It's then 10-1 into 8-1 about Stars in Heaven. In Kwele at 8-1. It's 16-1 and better bar those. D's race number 2, start off the bipod. What's your thoughts in this race? Because I think if the two horses for me that sort of stand out, number 1, Turconnell, and I like number 7, Rich Folks Hoax. Not quite sure what to make of +4. He was given a penalty for running second last time out, 4-point penalty. But I think number 7, Rich Folks Hoax, last time out he was heavily supported and there was a lot of confidence around him in the market. But the concern for me was 1200 meters. Now that he's going over 1600 meters, and Dean Canamere mentioned that he's going to put a quarter cup blinkers on him, and I just feel that this horse could be ideally placed here. His rating may be a touch high, but I think this is the right type of race for him to run well in.
We're on the same page. I don't want to talk myself into a spin rail. Had a look at the race. If I try to assess the opposition that number 7, Rich Folks Hoax, takes on here, then it's going to be a costly bipod. I'm all in. What price you say the horse is?
33-10.
33-10. I'm going to say the horse will shorten come race time. Anything from 1200 to 1600 suits him fine. Personally, I think his best distance at this stage of his career is 1600 meters. And I can see why Dean has put these blinkers on. He mentioned half cups. Having watched him race in a few of his runs, he tends to be not lazy, but not wide awake in the early part of the race. So I just think that is to get him more alert on the task at hand when the starter says go. Possibly get him into the race early, not too eager, but nicely placed. And I think his turn of foot against this type of field will be too good. The one major plus of his form line last time out is that this is what it means has come out to win again. He's turning out to be a lovely horse for MJ Odendaal. And even his penultimate start over 1200 meters, he was close up behind Quandary. I'm going to read it as such. From the Western Cape, Dean has given him 2 nice warm-up runs. Now going over a distance that's going to be ideal, going to be perfect for him. Whatever beats him, win. I'm going to bank him in everything. I think the first 2 races, we're going to go with Paul Matchett in race number 1 and Rich Folks Hoax in race number 2. Possibly grab that double.
Yeah, I was just going to say that could be a nice double to get involved in.
Because the exotics are going to come up, Ryle, and they're going to be big numbers on a big race day. Plus, we've got Hong Kong jockey pools later on. You want to try and build a kitty and play for free. If you can get some money early on in the day, then your day becomes less on the pocket.
Yeah, absolutely, Deez, and especially if you can get through with the limited spend in leg number 1 of the bipod, you could be set up for a couple of upset results later on. So number 7, Rich Folks Hoax, going to be the top choice for both Deez and myself. Deez, in terms of a bet like the Exacta, if guys want to get involved?
Well, I can't. You know what? The more I look at the race and the more I try to analyze it, it's actually tough. But racing fans are looking for numbers out there. Number 1, Turconnell. I don't mind the 1600 because he's nicely drawn. I'll include him. I'll include number 5 +4. And then Stars in Heaven, having watched him race and win over 1400 meters, I think Garrett is doing the right thing here, putting him over a bit of ground. So the numbers for me will be numbers 1, 5, and 6. And then if you're looking for one that could win from a poor draw, the way that horse Johnny the Thief won, number 11, Al Dante.
Yeah, Al Dante and Hatspride will be the 2 roughies for me for those minor positions. But number 7, Rich Folks Hoax, the top choice in race number 2.
Place accumulator begins in race number 3 at 14:15. It's over 1900 meters and it is a class 4. And I see a nice sponsor to the race, JC LaRue. We'll ask Ryle if he enjoys a glass of JC LaRue while we're previewing this show, which is this race, which is race number 3. And we'll bring up the field, have a look at some betting. You need to get on the tote by 14:15. So looking at the betting, Ryle, horse in single figures. Number 2, Villa Vacosa, 6-1 into 5-1, and I'll need to give him some airtime after what I thought was a disappointing run last time out, but there were valid excuses. 6 Bombers in the Sky at 7-2. Then we got horse number 7, Chill in the Air. That's at 22-10, and 8 Nocturnal Flight at 4-1. There are 2 scratchings now. Numbers 9 and 11. Both those runners are out at the time of recording. So, Ryle, in the third race, I'm going to narrow my selections down. Just a word on Sasha's Dream, who has been supported anti-post. Sasha's Dream has shortened. I just want to get the exact price that the horse is now, because Richard Farine double figures, that never lasts. So 8-1. Okay, 8-1 now. That's Sasha's Dream, the mount of Richard Farine. So I'm going to give some horses some airtime, and then you're going to give your thoughts. 2, 6, 7, and 12 in numerical order for me. 2 Villa Vacosa. I like this individual last time out. I remember regulation in the race made the horse the value. Basically, the race was lost at the start. Beaten 4 lengths, lost 4 lengths, and just seemed to be one pace throughout after that horrible beginning. Now Matthew Thackeray gets on well with the horse from a good draw, massive runner. Bombers in the Sky, Ryle, Glenn Cotson's runner. You know, the regulation form line is the form line that I'm following here, and they're going with blinkers, so we'll have every chance of winning after that first start in the province. Chill in the Air comes on that same form line, you know, the fastest finisher behind regulation. Raymond Dennison's got a nice feel for the horse, and we'll see him later on in these colors in the main event. And then Ricardo, we mentioned on the show, you know, although poorly drawn against that type of field, will run a big bold race. And again, poorly drawn, but the draw is immaterial with this fella. He's just got one style of racing: sit and finish well. So 2, 6, 7, and 12. If I had to pick my outright selection, I'm going to go one more time for Villa Vacosa. The fact that, you know, the horse was, one could say, unlucky the way the race panned out from the get-go. I'm hoping things are different this time round. So if you ask me, you know, out of 2, 6, 7, and 11 Ds, what's your numbers in order of preference? I'm going to go 2, 7. Okay, let's keep it at 12. 2, 7, 12, and 6.
Yeah, these are we see the race pretty much the same. My top 2 is just the other way around. I like number 7, Chill in the Air. I like the manner in which he finished off his race last time out behind regulation, and he's been improving with each start out the maidens, and I think he could be nicely placed here by Michael Roberts over a suitable distance, and Raymond Danielson takes a ride once again. So he's going to be the top choice. He looks to be ready to win again. He made a solid case for number 2, Villa Vacosa. Bombers in the Sky, he'll keep you interested. He had his first start last time out in KZN. Would have come on a ton with that run under the belt. Blinkers go back on. And the only time he wore blinkers was when he ran third, 3.5 lengths behind Zeitz over 1,600 meters. Yep, good run. And it would be an even better run in hindsight if Zeitz happens to win later on. But yeah, Bombers in the Sky. He's going to have his obvious supporters. Number 3, Sasha's Dream, very, very interesting. Down in classes, filly. Last time out, she ran in the East Coast Cup. Previous run, she ran in the Scarlet Lady. So it is a significant drop in class for this filly. She seems to have her fair share of ability. And from gate number 3, going over 1,900 meters, a distance that won't suit her, I'm going to include her into the play as well. So 2, 3, 6, and 7 are going to be the 4 horses that I include in actually, I'm going to take a stance here. I'm going to go 2 and 7, leg 1 of the PA. It's not the start of the pick 6, so 2 and 7. But in terms of trifectas and quartets, those will be the 4 horses, and then I'll include your horse number 12, Ricardo, for quartets.
Okay. Get on the place accumulator. 14:15. That's a 2:15. Race number 3. To
race number 4, this is the start of the pick 6. 14:50 is the is the off time. 1,200 meters is the distance. It is a Class 4 contest. And before we get into race number 4 and touch on the betting, we've got an interview.
Vabese, nicely drawn. Since we started riding him differently, he comes with a nice finish. And, I think if there's a good speed up front, I think he'll be in with a chance.
Yeah, if there's a good speed up front, he'll be in with a good chance. That's number 1, Vibe SA from gate number 1. Your favorite is number 7, African Prince, trading at 7-2 in the market, 9-2 about number 1, Vibe SA. Number 8, Who Blinked, 6-1 into 5-1, 5-1 about number 9, Isi Kwishi Kwishi. Number 3, Positional Power is the run of interest here, 10-1 into 8-1. It's then 10-1 and better bar those. These start off the pick 6. It's certainly a very competitive race, but this horse, Position of Power, he could be absolutely anything. I know Pinetti didn't do anything for that form line by running second, beaten behind the Axis Power on Wednesday at Hollywoodbets Greyville. But this horse, all he could do was win on debut. You mentioned that you had a word with Alison Wright prior to the race, and she seemed fairly upbeat about this horse's chances. Gate 3, an opening mark of 79 could turn out to be fair for this horse.
Yeah, I've done this for a long time. When these horses come out of the maidens, they really have to grab your attention, and then the form lines have to work out, and possibly something special. It's very tough for horses to go back-to-back out the maidens, unless they're above average and they got a bright future. And that's the way I see it, because that's how we have handicap races with our population of horses. You got these horses that will make up the fields. Now we got Class 5s and Class 4s. Before it used to be E and D division handicaps. You need horses for those fields. But when you get a horse that starts off his engine the way this horse did, it'll grab your attention, it'll get you excited. But I think that these other horses that this fella is taking on compared to what he raced on debut, I can't see him winning it, right?
Yeah.
So
it's no inclusion in like one of the big
You have to take this down. Because it's about cost now.
No, for sure.
It's about cost. So I've gone 1, 2, 6, 7, 8 here. Those are my numbers. I'm including both Tony Peters runners because of good draws. That is, it's gold. At Hollywoodbets Greyville, when you're drawn well over 1,200 meters, whether you're a traveling horse, whether you're a horse that's got limited form, it just enhances your chances. So number 1, Vibe SA, and number 2, Give Me the Good Life. Both get my vote for the pick 6. I've included number 6, Hope is Power. If he can finish the way he finished on the poly track last time out on the turf, I think he'll possibly be the horse that will be running them down over the final 400. Yeah. African Prince, I'm not going to say he doesn't go on the poly track, but he didn't seem to enjoy it. It was the wrong option from Justin Snate to put him on the poly track first up. So I think he'll run better on the turf. And then between Who Blinked and Isi Kwishi Kwishi, there wasn't much between them. But because Who Blinked is now drawn alongside Isi Kwishi, where last time out they were poles apart, 14 out of 14, 2 out of 14. I'm going to say Who Blinked will reverse the form with 9, Isi Kwishi Kwishi. So I'll know my fate early in this pick 6, 1, 2, 6, 7, and 8. But I hear you about the horse that won on debut. If the guys are looking for one more, I could be way off the mark with this fella. He could turn out to be a horse that could be going through the divisions, but I'm going to be leaving out of my pick 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I'm gonna throw this horse Master of the Desert into the play as well. He's a roughie 12-1 in the market. I think he's the type of horse that can pop up. He did run over 1,200 meters last time out, not really putting his best foot forward. Reported hampered over the final 250. I think he's capable of a lot more than what he has been producing, and I think that he's the type of horse that can perhaps get involved for trifectas and quartet. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. It's 6 horses in a field of 12, and that's how I'm going to go leg number 1 off the pick 6. If I have to tip them in order of preference, these, I think Hope is Power could be well placed here. He's at 10-1. That's a massive price.
Massive price. The way he finished off last time out, 1,200 meters, this type of weight is immaterial when you have a look at the way it's structured. And the colors will be looking just to add to the stakes because they are on top in the Owners' Championship on the South African racing calendar. And Sean Veal, he is well clear in the KZN title. His best season thus far having had 3 figures just the other day, bringing the mark to 100 plus now winners for the season. So he's having a wonderful season, the best season of his career thus far, and he is leading that KZN title. I think he's leading by 13 over Serena Moodley, so he'll be looking to, widen that gap. Number 6, Hope is Power, are going to be the top choice for Ryle. In this race, I think it's a nice trifecta and quartet to catch. So race number 6, you heard Ryle's numbers and my numbers in numerical order: 1, 2, 6, 7, and 8. We're on to race number 5, the Ridgemont Debonair Stakes, a listed race over 1,400 meters as we begin all these feature races now. And a nice package coming up here for race number 5.
Wild Green goes in for a run, and between the two of them, they're trying to get into the race is Winterbell. Coming down now with 250 metres to go. Quick Step Gal on the outside of that one. Captain's Envy, Polar Light, Wild Green. It's Captain's Envy and Quick Step Gal over the last 100 metres. Quick Step Gal just the leader, and Quick Step Gal won it. Second will go to Captain's Envy, Polar Light, and Wild Green involved for photos.
Educator, lovely filly. Big, tall, scopy filly, lovely mover. She won her first start over 1,400 metres where everything went wrong in the early stage of the race for her, and she still won going away. Going to be a lovely filly in the spring. There's a 3-year-old, and I won't be surprised to see her go 1,600 metres. I know it's a big jump up from a maiden win, but she's nicely drawn, and I think she's doing exceptionally well, and I think she'll continue to improve, and it'll be a good test for her, but a filly with loads of scope.
She's a very nice filly. She's going up nicely in the ranks. She's improving with every start. And we're hoping for another crack off a run. Hopefully she can win for us. And obviously she's still got a bright future ahead of her.
Very interesting betting market as we bring up the field here for race number 5. Horse number 1, Educator, opened up 33 to 10. And the racing fan said, we'll have that 12 to 10, now 11 to 10. Number 2, Vanicum, and that's at 7 to 1. Then we go on to horse number 3, Quick Step Gal, 9 to 2 as shortened into 7 to 2. 4, Little Miss Splendid is firm at 4 to 1. 5, Captain's Envy at 6 to 1. And then I want to take down the betting for Sean Terry's runner, because for me that's the most interesting entry into the race, because Sean Terry, you have to respect the way he places his horses. And the number 7, Tina Lovelace, that's trading at 12 to 1. I've taken a big bold move here, Ryle. I know it's a small field of 7 runners. It's 2-year-olds. Some would be inclined to possibly include the field to be safe, but I'm just going to go 3 runners here. Numbers 1, 3, and 4. I get Deed Kanamea loud and clear when it comes to progress on what he could have in a few months' time. Because what she did first up, you need to go and watch that replay, racing fans. All you need to do is go onto the Gallop TV site, click on Educator in the search column, and this replay will come up. It was at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. Never easy first up, going over 1,400 meters around the turn at a tricky course. Alana has come out to win, now drawn pole position. She's a serious runner in this field, and the money is down early. Number 3, Quick Step Girl, Ryle, that replay we saw, she's also progressing nicely. When having a look at the opposition that she takes on, she's the only 2-time winner in the race, and of course winning the Strelitzia last time out in gutsy style. And then Robin Claessen's got this horse number 4, Little Miss Splendid, and she's engaged the services of Serena Moodley. We can clearly see what Cabello Mazzaniana has chosen, and one has to respect his choice of ride, but I think it's a nice pickup ride here for Serena, for Robin, on a horse that I know doesn't have any issues with the distance, having watched the filly last time out over 1,500 meters. And then if you're looking for a roughie, it will be number 7. But numbers 1, 3, and 4 year Ryle. And I must agree with the betting market, the money that's coming for number 1, Educator, because you had to be impressed the way she won on debut.
Yeah, very, very eye-catching win on debut from this filly D's, and that form line has worked out very nicely with Alana coming through to win and Mrs. Glitter Sparkles winning midweek as well. So she's a filly that Dean Kaname seems very, very upbeat about her chances as well. and mentions that he even feels she'll go over 1600 meters, will be a better filly in the spring. And I think that there's lots more to come from this daughter of One Will. So she's no doubt the runner of interest here, having only had one start for one win. My top choice though is going to be number 3, Quick Step Gal. I like what I saw from her. I was very impressed. That maiden win is what blew me away, Dees, because it was soft conditions at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. She's a young filly, a 2-year-old that had only one run under the belt, and the manner in which she drew away from the opposition was very, very eye-catching. And last time out, she dug down deep to beat Captain's Envy. I think she'll confirm that form with Captain's Envy. She's a filly that I believe is looking for this 1400 meter trip, and Teeny Prince does believe that she's quite useful. So she's going to be the top choice, followed by number 1, Educator, and then number 5, Captain's Envy. Those are going to be the 3 horses that I include into the pick 6, 3, 1, 5 in order of preference. And yeah, I think this could turn out to be quite a nice race, and a race where we keep an eye on a few of these fillies.
I just want to add to that form line of Quick Step Girl. The horse there that was finished some way back,
Dean Canamere's
Kokonov.
Yeah, Kokonov.
Came and ran a good fought the other day.
Cracking run.
Behind Direct Hit, because how I remember that is it cost me the quartet.
Yeah.
Behind Direct Hit. It looks like a simple quartet, but I mean, I just missed out Kokonov because she was so far back. I think she was far back because those 2 horses in that replay, they were well clear of the opposition.
Yeah, she finished 7th that day.
Yeah, and then she was so far back, and she came to run a good race behind Direct Hit. You know, I think that was a tremendous run. So that form line's looking up, because we're talking about a Group 1 that Kokonov ran in next time out. So Dean will have a very good line there.
Yeah,
Kokonov versus Educator. I mean, I'm sure it'll be a simple answer for him. What do you think? Kokonov versus Educator from Canamere's stable.
It's interesting, these, because Kokonov.
No, I'll say he'll tell you Educator.
Educator.
Yeah, I'll say he'll say Educator. Over this distance.
Maybe over this distance.
Yeah, you know the Kokonov sprinting.
Number 1, Educator.
You like Miller's horse, yeah?
No, Tini's horse.
Yeah, but I'm saying you've included Captain's Envy.
Yeah, just on that form, these.
They're close up there.
Yeah. Not a lot to choose between them, and I think she's a filly that will also be suited by the distance. So yeah, I think 3-1-5 these. What numbers here for me?
3-1-5. Ryle has excluded my number 4. I've excluded his number 5. So let's see what happens in race.
We'll race
5.
each other.
Yeah, let's go for it. Educator, the money horse.
Race number 6. This is the second of our 2-year-old listed races on the day. 1400 meters the distance. It is the Hollywoodbets Sharks Gatecrasher Stakes. 4:05 is the off time. And before we get into race number 6, we've got to rerun that of Malmesbury Missile and then an interview.
Continues to lead it. Good for user runner. Malmesbury Missile on the inside, and I'm a Fireball is still right there. But Elegantrix and Good for You over the last 200. Military Command comes out, but down the inside, Elegantrix and yes, Good for You. These are the 2. Elegantrix and Good for You. There's nothing in it. Eyeball to eyeball, coming down to the line. I think Elegantrix from Good for You, and 3rd place Mulberry Missile.
Whispering Death, lovely horse. He's done nothing wrong. Obviously, it's his first run at Greyville. He's a very good mover, and he's an exciting ride. Bit of an awkward draw, but he's a lovely horse, and he's a horse that can only improve.
I was very happy with the way he won at Greyville. He had one run up the straight at Kenilworth, and then he won exceptionally well at Greyville over 1400 metres. And I was in 2 minds, should I ride him or not. He was drawn 30 out of 30, but scratched down to 11. But it's not easy from 11 draw over 1400 metres. I think he's also still learning to race, but he is improving. I would never leave him out, but tricky from that draw.
Well, thanks to Dean Canamere for his comment there with number 11, Versita. Favourite, number 8, Whispering Death, 5-2. Number 6, Malmesbury Missile, 7-2 into 3-1. Number 1, Tenjiku at 5-1. Number 2, Yippee at 6-1. Count of Ruin has found support from 12s into 7s. And there's also support around number 9, Vikings Revenge, from 14-1 into 10-1. It's then double figure odds about the balance. It is a very exciting 2-year-old listed contest. And often these 2-year-old races are the winner here. Want to keep an eye on, especially for those Hollywoodbets July Day and then come end of the month on a Gold Cup day. D's, I'm taking a stance here, a big bold stance.
Don't tell me that you got the rocket launcher out for the missile.
Oh, I've got it. It's ready. It is ready to get sent, D's. I like this horse too much.
Is it?
The form line, I mean, we saw the replay there. Elegantrix winning the race. Second to Direct Hit.
Good run.
Second, good for you. Win off the gold medallion. Fourth in the race. Military Command, who ran fourth in the gold medallion. That form is stacking up so nicely for this horse. He's crying out for the distance of 1400 meters. Last time out, he needed that run, having his first start here in KZN. I think he would have come on a ton with that run under the belt, and I think he's going to be ideally suited to Hollywoodbets Greyville. So I'm all in here with number 6, Malmesbury Missile. He's a well-bred son. I've given the green light. I do have healthy respect for number 8, Whispering Death, who appears to be the immediate danger, but I think Malmesbury Missile is going in the right direction. I think he could go very close to winning here.
Okay, Ryle confident with number 6, Malmesbury Missile, and that's what we like. If you like a horse, you nail your colours to the mast, and that is it. So he's in with 6, Malmesbury Missile. I'm erring on the side of caution with these young horses, 1400 around the turn. Number 1, Tenjiko, Alec Laird's runner, who goes for 3 in a row. Really like the way Alex brought this horse along. Alex having a wonderful season as well. And then number 6 gets my vote. So 1 and 6, 8, Whispering Death. How can you fault him? You can't fault him one bit. He's done nothing wrong in his career. Gavin Arena, who's got to win on this horse both times, gets the ride. Massive runner. And then we spoke earlier on, Ryle, about horses that will grab your attention more than others where they win on debut. Yeah. This horse, Viking Revenge. Go and watch that replay, racing fans, on the Gallop TV site. To do what he did first up takes a special horse, regardless of the opposition. To jump out, to take up the running, to hit the top of the straight and find more and more, and actually widen the gap between yourself and the opposition. It takes a horse to do that over 1400 meters. I just think he could be anything. If you pull out the form line, you'll draw a line through him. You actually wouldn't include him in anything. But all he could do was win. I'm personally going to say he was in a race of his own against that type of field. How much more to come? This race will tell us more. So my numbers here, 1, 6, 8, and 9. And I do respect the support that's come for Sereno's ride, number 10, Count of Ruin. But
order of preference.
Yeah, order of preference for me, I'm with you with 6, Malmesbury Missile, just on the strength of that last start, the fact that you mentioned there's grade 1 winner, there's a grade 1 placed horse to come out of there. So one has to go with 6, Malmesbury Missile. My second choice, and this is an absolute flyer, is Viking's Revenge. I don't know how good the horse is.
Yeah.
That horse was impressive first up.
Yeah, he certainly was. Yeah, I think he blew us all away in the manner in which he was able to get the victory that day, and he didn't look like he was ever going to get caught that day. So, yeah, Viking's Revenge, definitely one that you want to keep an eye on. But number 6, Malmesbury Missile, Whispering Death, Tenjiko horses to play around here in race number 6.
The main event, and it begins. Hong Kong Jockey Club Whirlpool, and it begins Jackpot 2. Get ready, racing fans. This is going to be a humdinger to close things off races 7, 8, 9, and 10. Keep an eye on the tote. Keep the cash for the tote. It's the Hollywoodbets Gold Challenge Group 1 over 1600 meters. Let's get into that package.
Aussie going for a split. Questionings on the outside. Cafe Culture. Great Plains, the Greyers running on down the inside. They come from everywhere. Montien, Gladiatorian, Questioning. Great Plains on the inside, and see it again. On the outside of there, running on is the Real Prince, but it's Gladiatorian. And on the inside, see it again. Oh, if I had to go anyway, maybe Gladiatorian.
Cosmic Speed was a great run in the Guineas last time. He's fairly drawn. The speed looks like quite a bit of speed in the race, which may just suit him. He's doing very nicely at home, and I think he's going to run a positive race.
Yeah, Montien, he's drawn quite wide, which is not ideal, and it's a hell of a strong race. It really is. But I think I've got him well. His last run also he needed quite a bit. Had a lot of interruptions in preparation for that race. His prep this time has gone perfectly, and he's very well, and I know he's going to run his best race. We're just going to need a bit of luck in the running, that's all.
Look, it's a tough race. I think one of the toughest fields on the day. He's got a wide draw to compete with, but obviously that's not our end game. This is sort of a prep run going into the July, so we're just hoping for a positive run that will give us enough confidence going into the Durban July.
Yeah, thanks to the guys, and of course we watched that replay as well, and we know the quality in the race. We all know the horses in the race. We all know what they've achieved in their career. And it's now crunch time, racing fans, on which horse you are going with. Well, you know, the obvious two horses, number 2, Dave the King, the reigning horse of the year, and number 3, See It Again, the darling of KZN, who really loves this track. And then number 7, Great Plains, and 8, Gladiatorian, going to be the horses that I will back up with if you're not in the camp of 2 and 3. You had to be impressed, Ryle, with Dave the King and the way he came back last time out. You had to be impressed with See It Again and the first run he's had back home. And of course, Great Plains and Gladiatorian, massive runs from them last time out in the Drill All Stakes. Those are the 4 runners for me. 2 and 3 in smaller perms. The addition to that, 7 and 8.
What a terrific race is the renewal of the Hollywoodbets Gold Challenges over 1600 meters. This was Dave the King, so impressive last time out, bouncing back to form. And I mean, when you roll back the clock 365 days ago, I mean, he did win his prep run into the Gold Challenge, which he romped him to victory. Copy and paste, that's exactly it. And he won the Gold Challenge with consummate ease last year when Muzieni was aboard, and it could be exactly the same for him, D. So he's going to be a strong contender for top honors once again. He's going to be the top choice for me in this race. Healthy respect for number 3, See It Again. He's a horse that is certainly capable of so much more than what he has been able to achieve. It's just that at one grade
What I really
win.
liked about that replay, though.
Yeah.
Watch it again, racing fans. I mean, you know, we can always rewind the fight that he showed.
Yes.
He showed fight. You know, I was just chatting to you off air about the times that those horses finished in. You know, the quickest time they say is 21.8 seconds, which is clocked from the 400 at the top of the straight to the finish. But you can see over the final 100 meters which horse had the fight.
No, See It Again definitely had it in him.
Great Plains actually beheads him.
You know, he heads him for sure. He goes past him. He's probably about a neck in front of him, but this horse
I never
actually
saw
fight.
that from See It Again before.
Nah,
You know,
that
he
was,
just runs them down. That's the way he used to win.
But what could have changed? That's the thing.
I'm telling you something that whatever it is, Michael Roberts, don't change it.
Yeah.
Please. You know, we want to see this horse bounce back to his very best. He's performed at the highest level. We know that he was, you know, strongly fancied for the Hollywoodbets Durban July, etc., how well he did in the Western Cape. But the mighty Dave the King, wow. That stride of his 2-to-1. If
He's not an easy horse to go past, eh?
And he doesn't even look like he's running.
No, geez.
And I've spoken to
He's
Michael.
a massive horse.
I've spoken to Michael. 2-to-1. That's his asset.
Yeah.
That's his asset. The way he's got that stride, and when they got it on a string. And Hollywoodbets Scottsville the other day, it looked like he was just loafing around the way he was.
Absolutely. The one thing that interests me in this race, Deez, is that he's a one-speed horse and he's got the gait. These other horses, the likes of Oriental Charm, Montine, Purple Pitcher, they like to race up handy. So they're going to have their work cut out trying to get across Dave the King or trying to get from him.
Tactical race.
Yeah.
This is a tactical race. We know horses like Great Plains and Gladiatorians are just going to be sitting off the speed.
Yeah.
And they'll be hoping it's on.
Which I think it should be.
No, it will be. I mean, this race, it 100% will be. This will be a proper run race.
Yeah.
And when it's a proper run race, the horses that are sitting in behind, they will have every chance of making up the ground.
Yeah.
But we're not racing against, you know,
This is proper Brumbo horses.
There's no Makazola to set pace here. Yeah. These are all horses. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
There's no Makazola. There's no plan of action that we know what's happening. We know where 8 on 18 is going to be sitting, how he's going to come around the corner, mow them down. This is going to be a tactical race where all these runners are in it to win it.
Yeah. Great Plains, the one concern is that 1600 meters might just stretch him, but I'm a big fan of the horse, and I'm definitely going to include him into the play. He's going
Third
to
in the King's Plate, third in the Guineas, should I say, behind one stripe. Tremendous run.
Great run, and even his run in the sales race, when beaten behind all out for 6, he was way out of his ground that day. He should have finished a lot closer to the action.
What a race.
He's going to be the second choice for me. See it again, and then Gladiatorian. So I'm in your camp. We read the race the same. Cosmic Speed, the other horse that if you want to include one more, he's a horse that you can include to make it 5 horses. But
He's a Group 1 winner.
he is a Group 1 winner. He won the horse Chestnut as a 3-year-old when beating older horses. So he's certainly very, very capable on his day, and he can certainly
Just
get
some
involved.
food for thought.
Yeah.
Just some food for thought. If you look at the 1600 meter races, the premier 1600
Yes.
meters races in the country thus far,
All 3 odds.
King's Plate, One Stripe, Horse Chestnut, Cosmic Speed. If you want to follow the trend,
Great Plains turn now.
can it be another 3-year-old to win? Well, that's it for race number 7. Enjoy racing, fans. A race that we're all going to savor.
Race number 8 next up. This is a grade 2. It is HKJC Whirlpool Stakes over 1400 meters, formerly known as the Tibishina Stakes. 17:35 is the off time for race number 8. And let's get into our interview package.
Lucrative, yeah, she's won 4 out of 7. She's had issues, and we had a few setbacks with her, and she hasn't raced for quite some time. But quite a big jump. But she's off a 101, not easy to place him with off a 101. And I'd like to have gone into a sort of a softer type of race going into the season. Well, we're in the middle of the season already. However, you've got to respect her, but I think she probably will need a run to bring it where I want it to be.
Yeah, a lovely win from her last time. She's run 2 great races at Greyville. Obviously, she's under a bit of sufferance, but she's a filly that's improving, and I wouldn't leave her out of anything.
Yep, that's the comments that go out. Lucrative and so hot. So what? Race 8, they're betting 9-2 the field. Just goes to show the competitiveness of this race. If ever there was a field race on the day, this is it. It is tough.
It's tough, but the guide has to be the best way to call them as well, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you look at quality racing. This is a Group 2. How much more to come from horses that are, just played out the race with their handicap, with their rating. Do you give them credit? Can they step up to this level? Are the horses in form? What do you go with? You have to make that decision. Sometimes there's something that's bubbling under. And when I say bubbling under, I'm looking at a horse like So Hot, So What? Can she step up to this level the way she won over 1200 last time out? Is she capable of doing that type of thing? Because you got horses that have been racing in this type of quality for the season, and you're taking them on. So I'm just going to give you numbers here, Ryle. These are the numbers for me in the Jackpot 2 and the Pick 6 in numerical order. Number 2, Baby's Delight. Horse number 5, Green Sapphire. I've included number 8, Call Me Getrix. 9, Be Merry. What a run behind Mon Petit Cherie last time out. Then, of course, number 10, Minogue. The one thing that I did see, which really jumped off the page, was coming from a subsequent Group 1 winner in Miamu, the South African filly sprint. And then 13, Scarlet Macaw for Candice Bass Robinson. You had to like what you saw last time out. And Andrew Fortune is picking his spots. By the way, that run behind Mon Petit Cherie, racing fans, Little Susie has come out to win the Willavington. Spumante Dolce running second in the Daily News. It is a powerful form line to follow.
Yeah, it is, Deez, and it's probably the form line that you want to follow in this race here. We've got 4 runners, Be Merry, Scarlet Macaw, Oxalis Gold, and Green Sapphire. Those are the 4 horses that step out from that piece of form.
I think let's go with that form line.
Yeah,
for the top choice.
But a horse that you didn't include was 7, Oxalis Gold.
Yeah,
I think these strictly on times.
Yes.
On her Bailey Turk win, the Amzam Kulu win for Green Sapphire, her times was 1.5 seconds quicker than Green Sapphire's win that day. And Green Sapphire went up against fillies. This filly, Oxalis Gold, took on the boys. Otaniqua was third in the race. He came out to win the in full flight handicap, and he ran second in the Golden Horse Sprint. So that form line's holding up very nicely. And from that Green Sapphire win, nothing really sparking up that much. So I do prefer number 7, Oxalis Gold, ahead of number 5, Green Sapphire. And even on the last start, she wasn't disgraced. And I think 1400 meters suits a lot better.
Okay, Riley's giving you one more number to add to 2, 5, 8, 9, 10, and 13. He says, don't leave out number 7. How you pronounce it?
Gold.
Is it Oxalis?
Oxalis. One of the 2, I think.
We need to get that. Oxalis Gold. Oxalis Gold. I'm going to try and syllabicate it. Oxalis. Oxalis Gold. Okay, that is it. Oxalis Gold. Number 7 is going to get the vote from Raheel. It looks like a race where you're going to have to play wide here unless you really like something, racing fans. All the best in race number 8. Well, we're on to race number 9, and we are nearing the stretch now. The lights are on at Hollywoodbets Greyville. It's the Hollywoodbets Dolphins Cup Trial, a Group 3 over 1,800 meters, and we go to our package.
Tango's got 9, 10 lengths to make up, and then comes Salukwa. I Salute You on the outside, holding thumbs, but Underworld comes into the lead. Cape Eagles on the inside, Narina Trogon, and running on a Salukwa, and Salukwa's coming powerfully on the outside. Salukwa hits the front over the last 100 meters, and it's Salukwa to win it. Second, Narina Trogon, Underworld, and maybe then Akavango.
Yeah, Litigation is doing very nicely at home. He takes a very specific type of ride, so I just hope things go well for us. He does have to give away a lot of weight to some nice younger horses, but he's a hard knocker, and he's an exciting ride because if he brings his best, he'll be in the finish.
Ponda Pietre, yes, he's a horse that we brought back to Durban. His form last year was very good. He was badly in need of his run the other day, over 1,000 meters. I basically wanted to get a gallop under his belt. So he's a very tricky horse on race day, but got loads of ability. That run did him good, and I think he still may need one more to bring him where he wants to be. We want him to be. But we'll go out and we'll watch him, and then we'll take him from there. But all good with him.
Race number 9, 1,800 meters. Time of recording, number 1, Pomodoro's Jet is out. Betting is like so. Number 4, Regulation at 4-1. Then we go on to number 9, Underworld at 6-1. 10, Wild Intent at 9-2. And 13, Zeitz at 5-1. By the way, before the scratching of number 1, Pomodoro's Jet, both Regulation and Zeitz have attracted anti-post money. Well, gonna be short and sweet here. I'm just going to pull out one form line that tells a story, and of course it is the Politician run. Just touching on that form line, Garrix, who was second to Zeitz, we know nearly pulled off the Winter Series. Sail the Seas was in that race. He's a Guineas winner here in KZN. Regulation was 4.5 lengths back. Of course, you can argue that while Zeitz gave Regulation a hiding that day, he's better drawn. He's had the benefit of having a run in the province, which was a good win, carrying 61.5 kgs. And there has been a slight hiccup with Zeitz, because if you don't recall, racing fans, on Guineas Day, he was carded to race. Just unfortunate that a high level elevated TCO2 testing, and he was scratched. So it is a hiccup in his preparation. I know that they had a plan with him on how he's going to progress during championship season, and that just threw everything out the window. But he's here now to try and qualify for the Hollywoodbets Durban July. He's been off for 3.5 months compared to the racing fitness of Regulation, but I still feel, on the word on the ground and from what I hear, that his preparation has gone well. So I'm going to tip them straight here. 13 to beat 4. Those are my 2 horses. And whilst I respect the other runners in the race, there's some quality around these 2 horses. I think they'll dominate.
Yeah, he's number 13, Zeitz, is my top choice here, and I keep on...
Good horse, Ryan.
Yeah, he's a nice horse, and I keep telling you, you're going to have a headache come deciding rides for Hollywoodbets Durban July.
It's a good headache.
No, it is a good headache.
That doesn't require Panado.
No, for sure. But you're going to have sleepless nights. That's for sure.
That's if he wins.
I think he'll win these. I think he'll win. I'm a big fan of the horse. I think Hollywoodbets Greyville is going to suit him down to the ground. I mean, he galloped here about 3 weeks ago.
Yes, you saw that.
And yeah, it was a very, very pleasing gallop. And if Sereno had just given him a bit more rain, I mean, he would have gone past that
hiccup on Guineas Day, does it worry you?
These, I think it just worked out well in hindsight for the horse. I mean, he just say, for argument's sake, he runs in the Guineas. This horse, on my honor, ran 4th in the Guineas, got an 8-point penalty for that. I think Zeitz would have beaten on my honor. I think he would have probably got 4th that day, and he would have been given an 8-point penalty. He wouldn't come into the race with 52. and this race wouldn't be tailor-made for him. I think he's set up here. He's got the beating of Wild Intent and Regulation on that Politician run. Wild Intent gave him 3 kgs in the Politicians. On Saturday, he's got to give him 7. So he's got to give him 4 kgs more, and he's got to turn around 6 1/4 lengths. I can't see it happening. So number 3 is Heights, strongly in his camp. You mentioned number 4, Regulation. I think this horse, Underworld, ran a super race last time out to Salukwe, giving him 2 kgs. Whether he can give Zeitz 5.5 kgs and beat him, he does have the fitness edge on Zeitz. He'll keep you interested. Will number 9, Underworld, at around 6 to 1 in the market. But then when I look at the balance, not much else worries me here. So yeah, 13 Zeitz, 4 Regulation, and then number 9, Underworld.
Well, it's a chance to qualify for the 2025 Hollywoodbets Durban July race number 9, the Hollywoodbets Dolphin Cup Trial, a Group 3 over 1,800 meters.
Race number 10, final race on the day. 7:05 is the off time. 1,000 meters is the trip for the final race on Hollywoodbets Gold Challenge race day. Favorite here, number 4, Tara Star at 3 to 1. Before we get into race number 10, we do have an interview.
She seems to have nice form. She won a very impressive race first time out, and she came out to follow up with the 3rd place after that. And last time it was a feature, probably just a step too far, too soon. Obviously, it's down into handicap, and I think she's the type of horse she can be included. She can run a very good race, and with a good draw, it helps a lot, and she's carrying 55 as well.
Yep, number 1, Siesta Sunset, the unknown, given that she's the 2-year-old taking on older horses here from gate number 1. I'm sure she'll have a supporter. She's currently trading at 8 to 1. Number 6, Golden Chandelier, is the only scratching at this point in time. So it's a field of 12 that remain. Tara Star, as I mentioned, favorite at 3 to 1. Number 7, a Yui at 7 to 2. Number 10, Gallic Dancer, is at 6 to 1. It's 7 to 1 and better bar those. Now, I'm going to include this filly, Gallic Dancer, into the play. She is at 6 to 1. She's got 4 kgs off the back, so only carries 49.5. I think the speed will be on, which will play into her hands, and she comes from an informed Paul Matchett yard. So I think that Gallic Dancer is going to be a big runner for top honors. But these number 4, Tara Star, just based on a consistency, and I'll get in the services of Richard Free, she must be the horse that they all need to beat.
I agree. Number 4, Tara Star. Liked Buttercup Baby when winning last time out. It was a good end to the day with Wendy Whitehead's runner. Who was on that horse, racing fans? Richard Free. What he's done. This is how the top jockeys operate. I've been there where you're privileged as an agent to do what Richard does. Get rides, and the best rides. And he's won the race with Buttercup Baby, and here he goes onto the horse that ran 2nd, and he gets the ride. So the apprentice is off, Richard is on, 4 Tara Star, no doubt the horse to beat. The only danger that I've picked out here, Ryle, is number 7, Ayui Yui. I know that it's been a while, let's call it 3.5 months since we last saw her. But the fact is, she was in good form and nearly about to win prior to this layoff. And I think she'll run a big bowl race here. I've seen her a few times. She's very quick on the day, but she seemed to have lost the speed at her last 2 runs or so. I don't know the reason for that, because I remember when she was winning those races, I think it's Hollywoodbets Scottsville, if I'm not mistaken. She was a very quick horse. So if Sean Veal can, let her just use her stride from draw number 7, I think she'll have first run on number 4, Tara Star, and it'll be about fitness that could see her into the number 1 box or finishing 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. But I'm big on number 4 here, Tara Star. When you need it most, racing fans, which is usually the last race.
Yep, number 4, Tara Star for D's and myself, and then number 10, Gallic Dancer as well. And then you can include number 7, Ayui Yui. So 4, 7, and 10, 3 horses to play around in race number 10 on the program. Looks to be an exciting card, and these obviously races 7, 8, 9, and 10 will be whirlpool races. It's going to be great, big pools to play into.
Ooh, it's mind-blowing. You and I work at Gallop TV studio, whenever we get shifts, and we watch racing from Happy Valley and Shartin. And sometimes when I look at those numbers, it's mind-boggling. The madness of it is how those pools get to those sizes. Well, we know they don't have fixed odds, they don't have bookmakers, and that type of thing. But when you look at the size of population of Hong Kong and the number of people there compared to the investment on the total, it's absolutely mind-blowing. And for them to put up these race meetings that they choose around the globe these days, you must know we're racing alongside Epsom here on Saturday as well. So, and that's a Hong Kong Whirlpool Jockey Club race day as well. So they pick and choose their race meetings that they want, the Hong Kong Jockey Club, because they know that they got the market to support it. It's going to be massive for us on Saturday. Huge.
Yeah, it's going to be a big day's racing here at Hollywoodbets Greyville on Saturday. It is Hollywoodbets Gold Challenge race day. All the best with the bets that you do take on Saturday, and hopefully you find yourself in the winner's queue.